Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be finding out what happens if Arthur doesn't go with Dutch in the first mission of the game and instead stays with the rest of the gang members. And this will also give us a better idea at what happened to Davey, the first character who actually dies in Red Dead Redemption 2. And in fact, the entire opening mission and monologue is pretty much about Davey.
Abigail says he's dying, Dutch. We'll have to stop someplace.
Okay, Arthur's out looking. I sent him up ahead.
If we don't stop soon, we'll all be dying. This weather, it's May. I'm just hoping the law got as lost as we did.
There. Arthur! Any luck?
I found a place where we can get some shelter. Let Davey rest while he... You know. An old mining town. Abandoned. It ain't far. Come on. Come on! Yeah!
Bring him in here!
Miss Gaskell, get that fire lit, quick. Miss Jones, bring in whatever blankets we have. Mr. Pearson, see what we've got in terms of food.
Davey's dead.
There was nothing more you could have done.
What are we gonna do? We need supplies.
Well, first of all, you're gonna stay here, and you are gonna get yourself warm. Now, I sent John and Micah scouting out ahead. Arthur and I, we're gonna ride out, see if we can find one of them. And this, just for a short bit. And I don't see what other choice we have. Listen to me, all of you, for a moment. Now, we've had, well, a bad couple of days. I loved Davey, Jenny, Sean, Mac. They may be okay. We don't know. But we lost some folks. Now, if I could throw myself in the ground, in their stead, I'd do it, gladly. But we're gonna ride out, and we're gonna find some food. Everybody, we're safe now. There ain't nobody following us through a storm like this one. And by the time they get here, well, we're gonna be long gone. We've been through worse than this before. Mr. Pearson, Miss Grimshaw, I need you to turn this place into a camp. We may be here for a few days. Now, all of you, get yourselves warm. Stay strong. Stay with me. We ain't done yet. Come on, Arthur.
All right. We've got some work to do.
We ain't run into them yet, so they both must have headed down the hill.
Sure. Hey, I ain't had time to ask. What really went down back there on that boat?
We missed you. That's what happened. Come on. Oh.
Hey, you need horses?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. Smith, get yourself indoors. You need to rest that hand.
I'll live.
Get indoors, son. We need you strong.
Okay.
Okay, so during that cutscene, you saw that Davey was brought in and he ends up dying, and they put some coins on his eyes, and that's really the final time in which you see him. And he was actually a prominent member of the Vanderlyn gang before our story begins. Now, once Arthur and Dutch go outside, he's supposed to follow Dutch. And if you actually try and go back inside of the cabin, you actually can't. The game prevents you. So there's actually no way to see any more of Davey, and you can even see that X on the map there. And by the time you do get back and get involved in the next couple of missions, his body is of course gone, and he is buried, and you can see his gravestone. So with the help of a little bit of PC magic, we can actually teleport inside of that cabin to get ourselves a better look. Now, what's funny is Dutch just seems to like wait and wait and wait outside in the snow, and he just allows you to go inside of the cabin. So normally, we're not allowed to get in here. Now, a couple of interesting things happen while we are inside. The first is that we can talk to every single member of the gang in there. And I don't think Rockstar ever intended anyone to be able to get inside. And because of that, the conversations are a little bit awkward. Like, for example, Arthur will actually talk to young Jack Marston, and Jack will say, like, "I'm hungry, Uncle Arthur." And he'll say, like, "That's good to hear." So the conversations aren't exactly very fluid. They're very short. But it's not like they're totally unrelated. Some people will say how cold it is. Some people will say how they want to get off the mountain. But again, it's pretty clear by this point of the story, Rockstar never intended for anyone to be able to talk to Arthur. And then we're able to get a look at Davey Calendar. And this is interesting because, again, we've never seen him like this before because we're not supposed to be able to get inside of the cabin. So what happened to Davey? It looks like, if I had to take a guess just by the wounds, that he ended up getting shot in like the torso, stomach, or chest. That's where you can see a lot of the blood coming from. That's where you can see sort of the bandages. And I've seen a lot of people wondering, why did they put the coins on his eyes? This is actually something that was done back in the days of mythology. When you died, if you received a proper burial, you would actually get coins placed on your eyes. It would actually be payment that you would take into the underworld that you would give the ferryman or the boatman, so that you could like cross the river of Hades or something like that. Like, I'm sure I'm getting some of the details wrong, but that's why the coins were placed on his eyes. It's sort of symbolic and sort of a tradition that dates all the way back to the age of mythology. Now, what's also interesting is with the help of some more PC magic, we can actually change the time of day and the weather. So we can actually make it daytime and sunny, which gives us yet again another better look here at Davey and ultimately what happened. You can see he's wearing torn up green pants. He's got sort of like a yellowish brown jacket on. I don't even think he has boots or shoes on. I think he's got socks and then a bright yellow sort of wrap around his head. So again, this is really cool because we've never been able to see this before, and we've never been able to go inside of this cabin. We've only had the access to see what it looked like in the cutscene. Now, what's pretty funny is if you actually go back outside, again, it's weird to see this mission take place not during the middle of a snowstorm and also during the middle of daylight. You can actually feel free to explore the rest of Coulter, like you can go inside some of the other buildings and you can check out what else might be going on. And Dutch will actually just wait there for you, which I do think is kind of funny. Now, when you do end up getting on the horse and riding with him, I think it's funny that we've altered the weather and the time because you know that cutscene where Micah is supposed to like come into frame? It's funny because you can see him riding in from like a mile away. So it is pretty cool that we've sort of altered the weather here. And because of that, I also wanted to try some more experiments with the Adler Ranch. So the first thing I wanted to see is what is inside the Adler Ranch before Dutch goes up to the door. You know, would we find Sadie Adler inside? What would the O'Driscolls be doing? So that's exactly what I tried first. And it seems as if Rockstar didn't program the O'Driscolls to be doing anything all that exciting. There's a group of 3 that are hanging by the front door. There's one that seems to be hanging by the back. And then there's 1 or 2 that look like they're upstairs. But there's no sign of Sadie Adler, and it doesn't look like they're doing anything interesting on the inside. I also knew that Arthur ended up getting ambushed in the horse barn, so I wanted to see if that O'Driscoll was like hiding up there, and it turns out he's not. So I guess he like magically spawns in when Arthur decides to open the door, because the O'Driscoll is not up there when the horse barn is certainly closed off. And the final thing I wanted to try in this mission was to see if we could see what would happen after we hear Sadie Adler scream. So as soon as you're like hitching the horse, we hear Sadie Adler scream and Micah is on the inside. Well, unfortunately, it looks like nothing outside of the cutscene occurs because I tried to actually navigate inside using some PC magic, using my trainer menu here, and it didn't really work. Instead, all it did was like super break the cutscene, and we got this weird angle from the outside of the house, and Arthur like didn't exist, but we could spawn him in back on his horse. So it was weird. It's also interesting to see this cutscene again occur during the middle of the day and not in a snowstorm. So those were some of the fun experiments that I ultimately wanted to try. And we were actually able to learn a couple of things here, which I found out to be pretty cool. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Now that Red Dead Redemption 2 is out on PC and we have access to trainer menus like this, what are some other experiments that you would like me to go back and do? I've got a few ideas of my own, but if you have anything, you can certainly let me know in the comments down below, or better yet, reach out to me on my Facebook page. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest Red Dead Redemption and GTA videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.